Hello, everybody. Welcome back. What we're going to try to do here today is talk about, well, the most fundamental of all the fundamentals of awakening, which is what is it that's going to wake up if and when awakening occurs. Now, there is, I know that there's a big rumor that there are lots and lots of individuals out there and that they need to do certain things in order to wake up and that they better be careful or bad things might happen to them when they do wake up. And I just want to tell you that all of that is wrong. Every bit of it's wrong. There is only one thing going on. That was the first line to my first book that I wrote in 2012. And it is 9 years later and nothing has changed. There's one thing going on. And I know that you think you're the one thing outside of the one thing, but it's impossible. So there's something watching this video that thinks it's an individual, and I'm just telling you straight out, that's not true. Your awakeness. So is this. Your oneness. So is this. Let's stick with oneness just for now. There's only one thing going on. So what can we find that there's one of here? Lots of this, lots of that, lots of this, lots of that. How about space? There's just one space. The space in the glass and the space in the house next door are the same space. The space could care less about walls and stuff. The walls are all included within space. You just have to back up a little bit before you can see it. Every house, every city, every nation, even the earth itself is held by the cradle of space. Space is not the thing that divides everything. It is the thing that unites everything. So I don't want to go into too much on this. I just want you to recognize that there's one thing going on. So given that there's one thing going on, what do you think it is that wakes up when awakening occurs? Well, even though I'd heard something about oneness, I still thought it was a Fredness that was going to wake up. I thought Fred, the character, Fred Davis, the man, the myth, was going to wake up. And that can't happen because it couldn't have happened because there was no Fred Davis there. There was just a thought, awakeness, as it was coming through this sack of conditioning, had came to believe that there were patterns here that were functioning together very closely. And somehow within all those patterns, there arose the thought, wow, there's something in the middle of these patterns and I'm it. And that's not true. There's nothing in the middle of the patterns. Just like the center of a hurricane, center of a cyclone, center of the drain in your bathtub. Water all around, but nothing in the middle. And that's the way these things are, patterns all around, but nothing in the middle. So it's only oneness that can wake up. So what we need to be doing is we need to be thinking about how does oneness wake itself up? There's no individual to wake up. So oneness is the only thing that could wake up. And where's oneness going to go for help? Nowhere. There's no other place. There's no other thing. So it is oneness's job. And is it oneness's job to actually wake up oneness? Well, let me see. There's functioning over here. There's awareness of a ceiling fan. I know it's turning around and around. And there is, up the corner of my eye, there's awareness of a statue of an Indian teacher and Ramakrishna. And then out of the right side of my eye, there's a little statue of Buddha. This is a big one. So what is it? It's oneness. This is oneness. It's all oneness. And this oneness is never going to get clear on oneness, on itself. Oneness can't, because the thing is that there's not oneness plus something to get that. There's not oneness plus something that will see oneness from afar, which is what we always were expected. I want to see oneness. It's got to be around here somewhere. Well, it is. It's right here. This is it. This is oneness. The arms are oneness. This space is oneness. There's only oneness. There is unconditioned space, such as this air. There's conditioned space, such as the arms. So this is oneness, awakeness, moving arms within itself. But would have to move it within itself because there's no outside to oneness. These basic things are what we miss. This thing is basic logic. This is not rocket science. It really isn't. It's not even high school math. This is just kindergarten stuff. If you had to notice everything that was going on here, what do you think you would probably leave out? Because you're using your attention, right? You're looking your attention and you're using your attention to list everything that you see. What's the one thing that you're probably going to leave out? The attention that is taking everything in. But we think, well, wait a minute, that's not a thing. Well, you're right. But it's not nothing either. I sometimes refer to it as no thing, sometimes with a capital N, no dash thing. It really, there's nothing you can say about it that's actually true, right? I mean, you can say it's consciousness and that's fine, but what is consciousness? We don't know. It's code for that thing, that notices everything, that can holds, all the, we don't know what it is, right? It's the code word we use when we get to the point where we just notice, well, we really can't talk about this, so let's just call it consciousness. And we've all agreed to do that. We've all agreed to call this Buddha too, but it's really an old tree. Is it more Buddha or more old tree? It couldn't be a Buddha without the old tree, but the old tree does not need a Buddha. You are the old tree and you're thinking that you are the Buddha. Not that I'm saying you're elevating yourself. I'm saying you think you're this. You're the old tree. You're that. You're what this is made from. This, but the thing that understand about this is that there's no this here. There's only oneness. So when I say this, I just mean with a capital T, all of this. I don't mean individual this with a little t. There's not a this and a that, there's only this. There's no such thing as that. That's the way an infant sees things, and that's the way it is. The infant is trained and coached out of that point of view. It might come out of that point of view to some extent on its own, but not to the extent it does unless it was trained and encouraged and all that, which is what parents and teachers and the world at large is very happy to do for us. So only oneness can wake up, and you're it. And you know how oneness looks, that wakes up? It begins to come to see, if he's saying oneness, that includes all of this. Now, you do not at that point get to say, I don't understand. What is he talking about? Because it's silly to think that oneness is not having the oneness experience and is waiting for some other oneness to show up. You get the ridiculous notion of that? So this is oneness, looking at oneness. This is oneness, hearing oneness. Hopefully this is oneness that will like and subscribe this video. That'll be good for you over here. It won't hurt you over there. What wakes up is oneness. So forget trying to do anything with that unit. You can get that unit to meditate, and it might be helpful. You can get it to inquire, and that'll probably be, might be helpful. You can get it to stop smoking and drinking, but that will not be helpful. It wasn't helpful over here, but it won't be hurtful. So, if you feel like doing that, then go ahead and do that. I recommend it. I used to be addicted to both, and now I'm addicted to neither. At least I'm addicted as long as I stay the hell away from them. But if I could become a smoker in 2 minutes again, or a drinker. What over there that is going, I'm not sure I really get this. That's awakeness. That's oneness that's getting that, that's saying that. And if there's something over there that says, I think I am getting this, then that is awakeness, oneness. It is oneness that thinks it's now getting it, or feels that it's now getting it. Because getting it is not a thought thing, but it is a feeling thing. You will feel it. And you won't feel it in the way that is generally construed, which is that this will feel other. It's just that, see, even as I'm discussing it with you right now, there's a glow, there's an inner glow that's happening all over this body. And it's not that you need to experience that, but I am sharing my experience, because if I get a little ridiculous, that'll be the reason. I will just kind of gone off into something pleasant, but it doesn't usually happen. And I talk about this all the time, so I don't know why it would happen now, but it is. But what is it that is feeling like it's rising within something else? It's all oneness. It's the same thing. I say you feel it, but that makes it sound like there's two. You are it. That's the thing. You don't get to see this. You don't get to really you don't get to feel this as an other feeling something else. You get to recognize that you are this. Notice that whatever it is that's over there is already, it is already, it is awake, it is alive, it is alert, it is aware. And whatever it is that's listening to this video cannot possibly look at me and report that you are not awake. You can't do it. You can try, but it's not going. You can do it, but it won't make any sense. It'll be just a ridiculous exercise. I'm going to tell you that. So I wouldn't even bother. Just note that you don't understand something here if you don't. But don't think that anything that's been said here is not true, because everything that's been said here is true. And this is also clear as a bell. Now, it's clear as a bell if you're right there. And when I say you're right there, it sounds like I'm talking about others, but I'm talking about me through that conditioning, the conditioning that's sitting in front of the other computer. That's the conditioning that I am, that conditioning. I am oneness, awakeness, and that conditioning. And through this body, I am this conditioning. I am the animating presence of this unit. I am the animating presence of that unit. But there is something, somehow, that there seems to be some individual over there, it's just make-believe, there's no character over there, who thinks this just can't be true. I can't be oneness. But the thing that's going, I can't be oneness, is oneness. Oneness is saying I can't be oneness, but it is. It can't not be oneness, because it's just one thing going on. So I think we've worn this out. I've told you this many times before, but I don't know that I've ever told it to you quite like this. And continue to follow some videos here. We are going to look at some other fundamentals, but we're going to do it in shorter videos. I'm going to try to continue to do some 5-minute videos, because I want to just do little succinct things. The other reason I want to do those 5-minute videos is that I'm hoping that YouTube will count those toward what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm going to be forced to do shorts like I tried to do before. And I have some new ideas, but I'll be forced to do shorts, because if I don't, they will reduce the audience of these videos, because they're going to do what they want to do, not what I want them to do. But if I do what they want me to do, so to speak, then they may do what I want them to do. But I've got to go first. So hopefully these 5-minute ones will do it. If not, expect to see some 30-second videos. See you later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.